G'day viewers, well, I recently bought myself a nice bargain off eBay recently. This is a standard telephones and cables brand mantle radio. As you can see, this cosmetically it's a bit shabby and worse for wear, but everything inside in the chassis is completely untouched and original, and it still works like the day it was purchased. Did a quick test and here. The seller was right, it does actually have great clear sound. It is very loud and clear. It's got your radiogram input, which is here. You plug your pickup, or I could plug my iPod with that for one time. Use it as an amplifier, which I will do. Just carefully checking over the whole radio, make sure it's all safe. The Bakelite plug is a ring grip, obviously a 10 amp rated plug. It's in pretty good nick, no cracks, that's good. These are perfectly safe to use, providing they're in peak physical condition, like no cracks or anything. Slightest crack and you get to unplug it and that breaks apart and you'll touch a live part, so if they're cracked, they're unsafe unfortunately, but this one has no cracks on it whatsoever, not even a scratch. The cord itself is in pretty good nick. It's got a little earth with a little label pressed onto the wire. It's actually a steel clip pressed onto it, and that's the antenna. That's standard telephones and cables. They're a British company, but they didn't open up a factory in Australia. I think till 1947 or 48 era, somewhere there. They started up having operations in Australia, and they made the radios here. It has 5 valves, this particular set. These are all English valves, so they imported their parts from England and assembled these here. The first one is a 6CH6 BRIMAR brand valve, and that's the audio output. And this one is a rectifier valve, a 6X4. You can tell by the way the inside of it looks, but I'll double check after I make the video to make sure I'm guessing's right. It's kind of got like it's been pressed together out of 2 halves. That's been pressed and moulded. So yeah. And this one here, I think that's the IF. That'll be the IF stage, I think. That valve there. Can't really see because the shield's in the way. I have to pull that off. And that one there's a these are all Brymer, by the way, brand valves. All made by Brymer, so they're all original. And this one here is a. Try and carefully turn this chassis around. A very small, compact chassis. Let's see, it's a 6BA6, that one here. And that one here must be the AF amp. So I'll quickly take that out. Can't do it with one hand because I'll be very careful with a touch and not smudge the writing off, but very carefully. Clearly this has never been removed. The electronics inside this are completely untouched, so made in Australia. I can't see what brand it is. It's a 6BE6 super something made in Australia. So yeah, a little bit of dusty crap, but that'll clean up good. The transformer's in good nick. There's no shorts or bubbling insulation or wires protruding out from, like the windings aren't protruding, so that's good. There's a little wire there, must be exposed, so I might have to try and cover that with heat shrink. I think that might be a ground wire, so yeah, there's two. It's grounded at the chassis, so I'm safe. So that shouldn't be a problem. So I'm going to try and I don't know what model this is. It's got like a little sticker here. The valve layout, it tells you the valves, but half of the sticker's missing. Product of standard telephones and cables, Botany Road, Alexandria, New South Wales. That must be where it was made. Made in Australia, so it was assembled in Australia, but does not say does not tell me the model number of this radio. So it's got this fabric on the front, which is first layer is all torn up because of fingernails that's been scratching it. And these knobs are actually bolt-on tops. The knobs are all original. So that chassis bolts onto this bit of wood, which bolts to the bottom of the cabinet. and the speaker is just separately plugged into the back, which is a permanent magnet type. Careful that label doesn't fall apart. I'm trying to preserve that label. It's a just unplugs. Makes it pretty unique setup. How this is set up. Just unplug the speaker, servicing. But yeah, it's got voice coil, 3 ohms. This little light bulb like bayonet socket here, how the speaker connects. I may remove it just to check the front of it, make sure nothing's gotten in there and gotten trapped and maybe degrading on the speaker, but yeah, the paper's still intact. It's got these little bloody wasp nests, so I'm going to have to clean this thing right out. So cosmetically this thing looks like crap, so the only thing that's wrong with this is the cosmetic side of it. Veneers are all cracked and wrecked. This was from tropical Queensland, so I'm going to have to try and make another back for this, try and reproduce one. I've added this piece of plywood or something similar, because I have not got any masonite to replace this. So I might just make a cutout, trace it onto that, trace out all these patterns, then that will unbolt, and I just cut this out of that stuff and make it look the same as this, and bolt this label onto it, and then have a pickup label here so I could reprint that if I wanted to. So yeah, there's an audio transformer. Alright, carefully lay this on its front. So these little potentiometer and the tuning shafts is all going to be its legs. So a moment while I just set this down carefully. This thing has not been touched. It's got these are the paper wax caps. This is whatever STC used. 0.10 microfarad. They're in pretty good nick. There's 1, 2, 3, a polyester one, a G-Con paper wax cap. It's basically the same thing, just they use different enclosures instead of paper wax. That's just plastic sealed with a label on it. There's one of those little capacitors there. These are film capacitors, and they're two of the original electrolytics. And there's that would be a mica, I think, 475 picofarad. Everything under here is in pretty good nick, so the wiring's all good, no burnt resistors. I would say these will probably be slightly out of tolerance, but I'll find out once I get a schematic chased up and measure them for sure. There's one of those mica caps here and a film cap here, but this radio does sound very, very clear and very loud. It tunes in very well, being all original, so I may replace these just to put fresh ones in to be safe. It's a 16 microfarad 300 to 350 volt. I got a replacement for that. It's a G-Con made in Australia. This one is I don't know what brand it is. Something Micromite electrolytic, 24 microfarad, 300 volts DC working. So I have to find a 24 microfarad replacement to replace that one. That's probably if it's on the safe side, I'd replace these, even though they are still working fine. But yeah, so I'll just give us a bit of a cosmetic cleanup and I'll give you a demonstration of it. Okay viewers, I'll do a demonstration of this radio now. Plug my little redneck antenna, just goes to the sink. Just got this hooked up to the flyback. I did try and make a driver for it, but so far no success. This is the aerial here, this yellow cable, so plug that in. Aerial's on. Baker up plug only just fits those modern cords, so you be very careful. I've got to get a knob. And these knobs have little bolts that hold them on, so we've got powers here. And they'll have to these go in a special way, so something with the screws half screwed in, that one there might help. Turn the volume down. Only has one dial light. Valves came up with a bit of a good polish, so that's good. careful where you touch your valves. That lining does smear off, so be careful. Our local station's over. There it is. Station's all perfectly functional. Well, the valves are not that good. All British valves except for that one here next to the IF can here. It's an Australian valve. So yeah, I might give the gramophone input a go, see what the gramophone input does. So here, I get an input source and we'll plug it into the input of the gramophone and we'll see how the how good the sound input really is. Tones over here, the controls are a bit dirty. Got great tone. Extremely loud for a radio of this size, so it's good. Alright, I'm going to go get me an input source for the pickup. Let's see how good the pickup works. Okay, I've got the speaker out. It's got a little bit of damage there, a little bit of moisture's got in there, and kind of wet there. Put a little bit of a hole there in the paper, but that should not be too hard to fix. It's a permanent magnet type speaker. 3-ohm voice coil, and yeah, the case, as you can see, it needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of cleaning. It's very dirty and smelly, so that's going to need a lot of attention. So let's give this a test with a pickup input selected. Do up the screw here.
Recorded live and featuring that pioneer of TV current affairs sensationalism, Darren Bitch, and his show.
Alright, now I'm going to unlock this radio. Turn that on. Radiogram. Yeah. I haven't hooked it up right.
The reason cited for the need to send out in a halal way. That means in accordance with Islamic traditions. Ahmed Khan's been a butcher for more than 45 years. He's a registered Muslim slaughterman, and Ahmad supplies meat and small goods to some of Australia's biggest hotel chains, restaurants and shops.
You said a voice
he took
call
Patrick
there.
Wood on a tour through his halal business earlier today.
Number one, you can see the beef here, and this is beef here. You can see you got a label here, and that is telling you like where it's been slaughtered and which day it's been slaughtered.
So yeah, she's got pretty good she's got good treble, good tone. So yeah, it just needs a good general cleaning over. Yeah, it's just this dust and muck has to be cleaned off. So this is going to be this is just going to need an overall clean, and mostly it's a cosmetic restoration this radio is going to need. So yeah. Stay tuned for more videos than this one, so yeah. Thanks for watching.